every month.
How much?
It's $697
And how many kids?
for one child.
$697.
Yeah.
The mother? What does she do?
I have no idea. She at the time she was working like odd jobs, like she was working at Walmart, stuff like that. And then there was an instance where she met a gentleman and moved to Texas. But I think the last time I went to court, where I got served papers and stuff like that was a few months ago. It says that her address was back in Georgia, so I think she's back in Georgia right now. But I haven't seen her, and I haven't seen her child since.
She's not back in Georgia.
Huh?
She's not back in Georgia. She's just using that address. She's not back in Georgia.
Potentially, yeah.
Women. The whole thing is all about hide and go seek. It's about this, about that. She's not in Georgia. I'll bet you that. I'll bet you any amount of money. But so how old is the child?
She's about 13 now.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 44.
My man. Okay. And how old is she? The wife, the mom, rather.
She's about 40.
Gotcha. And what's your percentage?
I'm 100% PNT.
My man. Okay. Okay.
And, Social Security, I get Social Security disability too.
Okay. Okay. And so go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So just to bring things forward, I was incarcerated twice because, like I said before, I wasn't paying them. So they brought me into court once back in December of 2017. Of course, I purged myself out, and then I moved. This was back in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where I was stationed at. So then once I was discharged, I moved around the country now in the boondocks. So I've been running back and forth, doing paperwork and stuff like that to them. Of course, when time I submit paperwork, I don't get any responses. The last time I submitted a motion for a motion to not to set it off, but to basically for no contract, to pay the state of claim for no contract and stuff like that. They were sending me notices. They were sending me notices directly into the mail, and at the time, I was just sending them back. I was doing a return of service and sending them back to them. Then I just happened to look on the website, seeing that there was a hearing, but I never went to the hearing. What I did was I did like a special appearance and did the paperwork, and then didn't go to court.
And what was that? What was that hearing for?
Show cause.
Okay, so it was a contempt hearing.
Yep.
For non-payment.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So, of course, I didn't go to it. I just let the paperwork precede me. Then the sheriff came, basically because saying that I didn't come, and I just showed him the paperwork saying that, Sheriff, I did come. I did a special appearance. He said, well, the court is saying you didn't show up. I said, well, here's the paperwork dated that I did show up. But I didn't show up physically. He said, did you show up physically? I said, no. I showed up. I did a special appearance, Sheriff. He says, well, go down there and deal with it and stuff like that. All I did was go down there and just get a copy of the filing that they did. And then, of course, when you go to court and you go to the courthouse and you ask them, first of all, the courthouse don't even have a record of the docket. So if you ask what docket you're on or who's the judge, the court don't know anything. They tell you to contact child support. And this is in the state of North Carolina. So they just tell you to contact child support, which I don't contact child support. I probably should, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Came back. Of course, they had that motion hearing, and of course, like I said, I wasn't served through the sheriff about it. They had that motion course, a week later, sheriff came back, taking him up. It was the same paperwork that they had before, saying let's go down there and talk to the magistrate. Went to talk to the magistrate, explained everything to the magistrate. Of course, the magistrate wasn't trying to hear it, and they wound up locking me up for a $10,000 purge. My wife paid the $10,000 purge, and then once you paid the $10,000 purge, right now I'm still looking at notices from child support saying I owe 18 stacks. But this is before, even after I paid the $10,000. So it's really like 8,000, but they're still showing 10,000. So it looks like the county that I'm at right now didn't notify child support that I paid the $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, every time that I purged myself, of course, you said you had the preceding court date, which is about 3 to 4 days later. I go to court, and then when they do the roll call, I'm not even on the roll.
Mm-hmm.
They have no records of me ever being there to show up.
Well, the reason why they do that is, I'm explaining something to you. The reason why they do that is because when it comes to child support, they normally deal with scary Jerrys. So when they tell you to purge yourself, you purge yourself, and then they say you got to go back in 3 days just to go tell them you ate a cupcake at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you don't go, they put another warrant up for you because they said you missed it. If you die, okay. So let me dig into to this for a second. What do you get? What is your income total a month?
I think about 7,000.
How much?
7,000.
Okay. And you married?
Yes.
What's your wife bring home?
She's a veteran too. She's a disabled veteran too.
Wow.
She brings about 1,400, and we own our own business from the house. So.
Wow, you got it made, brother. I'm jealous of you, man. I'm jealous of you. Good for you, brother.
I've been watching you for a minute.
You know, listen, man, I'm serious, man. When you got a woman that y'all doing y'all shit, I'm jealous, brother. So all right, so here's why I'm asking that. Because you purged yourself for $10,000. All right, that's why I asked that. So here's the deal. What part of North Carolina are you in?
I'm in a small town called Roxborough.
Okay. You have to.
North Carolina, Virginia line.
Got you. Yep, I know where it is. I'm in Virginia. I'm in the Hamptons. Hampton, Virginia. I go to Henderson a lot, and I go to Oxford a lot. I go to Elizabeth City, and I used to go to Moyac. I don't go to Moyac no more, but nonetheless, you got to get them off you. You got to get them off of you. You cannot have. I don't know if you heard of my daddy's house thing. You cannot have your address. Child support is not supposed to have your address. They not. You are not supposed to have some sheriff walking up to your house. Whenever they put your name in the system and hit enter, nothing valid supposed to come up on that screen. It's not. So you got to get the scent off of you. And once because the case is in Georgia, right?
It started off to be Georgia, but North Carolina is enforcing.
Well, right. So there's the state, and then there's the enforcement state. So North Carolina is the enforcement state. The second you give them a address, they're not the enforcement state no more. Mm-hmm. Once you say you moved, they can't do nothing to you anymore. The mother don't live there. You don't live there. You can tell them you moved. You ain't got to move. You can just say, hey, listen, this is my new address. Yeah, but me and my wife broke up. I'm gone. You gotta do a lot of counter. I mean, I'm listening to you. And another thing, the reason why you had to pay $10,000, you know why you had to pay $10,000? Okay. The reason why you had to pay $10,000 is you are not participating. You got the right idea. You're doing all this stuff. So here's what you're doing. You're putting the court in a position as though when they get you, They're going to get you. I've never heard of somebody that had $18,000 in arrears with a $10,000 purge. I've never heard of that before. I've never. But I'm saying, well, why is that? Because when you say all that and do all that maneuvering that you're doing, now let's get to the maneuvering that you're doing. When the courts send you something and you send it back, have you any idea what you're telling the courts?
That I received it.
Boom. But you are not complying. So when you get something mailed to you and you send it back saying anything other than marked moved forwarding address unknown, you messed up. Anything other than you scraping it off and writing on the side, moved forwarding address unknown, and take it back down to the post office and say, hey, listen, they sent this to this address. That person don't live there no more.
Okay.
That's how you do that. Whenever you open it, you assume the mail. And that's all the courts need to verify your address. If you get the court transcripts for your hearing, I'm going to tell you what you're going to hear. This is what you're going to hear. Your Honor, Heebie-Jeebie is not here today, but Your Honor, he did. I would like to enter Exhibit A. This is the item that he opened up and said that he is not a obligor or a floki dokie. So we want to enter that he actually did get the address. He did get and that's all they need is them saying that you was aware of getting some mail, but you said, I'm not going to show up. So as a person that went to school for law, allow me. When you listen to people around social media and you talk special appearances and all that, like I tell people, Run DMC made a song called You Be Illin'. And in the lyrics, it says, round his back, through the hoop, and you scream, touchdown, you be illin'. Because round his back, through the hoop is reserved for basketball. But you stood up in the garden and you screamed, touchdown, you illin'. So, when you do all this stuff that you're doing, and I don't know who taught you this stuff. What you're doing is you're making a mockery of a system and you're saying, I got it, but I'm not. You will lose every time. Now, I'm not asking who taught you the method. I'm not asking you that. Here's what I'm going to say. Whoever taught you that method, and I'm not asking whoever taught you that method obviously didn't teach you about the pros and cons of that method. Because the pros is give me a second. The pros is well, I'll get back to you on the pros, but I got a lot for you on the cons. All right. The cons is you will lose every time. And I'm going to tell you why once again. The way the judicial system works is jurisdiction, acknowledgement by way of being served, damages, what you're asking the courts to award you, open or close, judgment proceedings, wherefore, etc., etc. But when you get a piece of paper that says, okay, let me say it to you this way. If I was to sue former President Barack Obama, And I said, this man owed me $10 million. I've been trying to reach out to this man. You know what? But I came up with this elaborate scheme to get him to answer me. So I'm going to just put a lawsuit in for $10 million. I've been trying to get that. I just want to shake his hand. But since he don't, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to sue this guy for $10 million. He's in Illinois. I'm in Virginia. I go to the local courts and I say, I want to file this lawsuit for $10 million against Barack Obama. And they say, the Barack Obama? Yeah. Wow, what happened? He owed me $10 million. They're going to file a lawsuit. Frivolous or not, they're going to file a lawsuit. But by the time they get to Illinois, if he did what you did, he needs to send a $10 million check along with me, with the way he did what you did. You're going to lose. But if former President Barack Obama get that letter and submit an answer and say, or what he won't do is submit an answer because he's smart. He get the lawsuit and have a local representative represent him here because he ain't coming. And he's simply going to say, Your Honor, former President Barack Obama does not live in Virginia. Your Honor, I would like Mr. Smith to go file this lawsuit in the proper jurisdiction. That's all, Your Honor. Mr. Smith, what do you got to say about that? I mean, I thought I was able to just, no, that's not how the system works. So what did I just say? What I just said was simply jurisdiction. Let's say Barack Obama said, I got time on my hands. Sure, I'll go down to Virginia, have some fun. What's his wife's name? Michelle. Let's head on down to Virginia and play with this fool. And he comes to court and they say, oh, snap, he's here. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, former President Barack Obama. And he swear in and they say, Mr. President, you're being sued for $10 million. I want to waive the jurisdiction. I want to see what this man got to say. And they say, oh, it's all on you, Mr. Smith. Why do this man owe you $10 million? Now I'm trying to throw some fuddy-duddy stuff at the courts. It ain't sinking in. So when you break process, your demise is imminent. The only way to fight the courts is the way the courts fight. No other way. There's no other way to fight the courts. Every time you sent it back, when you did this thing, when you said special appearance, I don't preach that. I have a different approach when it comes to court. Grab your balls and let's go have some fun. That's my narrative. So I'm gonna do this. How much is your child support exactly?
$697.
Let me see something. Okay, $697.
I'm sorry, $597.
Oh, $590. Oh shit. Well, $597. That's $3 off of my mark. So, you know how much your child support is every hour?
What's that?
89 cents.
And 89 cents an hour?
Yeah. 89 cents. Can I borrow 89 cents? I'm sure you got it.
Yeah, I got it, but no.
All right. So 89 cents. But when you add it all up, and that's at the $600 a month mark, you're $3 off of that. When we sit back and look at all the things that we're trying to do, that's what it gets down to. So I'm not saying, I'm just telling you that. How often do you see the kid?
I haven't seen him since 2012.
And what's the reason for that? You know?
First, when I said she had moved to Texas, and then after that, like I said, I had no idea where she is until I received the court document saying that she was in Georgia.
Okay.
So we're not in contact with each other.
Got you. You remarried?
Yes.
You got kids with your wife?
Got a stepchild. That's all.
Okay. You having any more kids?
No.
My man. Okay. Just wondering. You got it made. You doing the right thing, man. You know. So what is it that what is it? What's the balance of what's going on in your brain right now? Where are you at? What is your mind telling you? What's the what with you right now?
Basically, is knowing that I will have to deal with the courts, and I don't know if you remember or not, but on one of your YouTube videos, I'm the one who's
I remember.
I'm going to be a paralegal.
Yeah, right. You said I inspired you. You said.
Yeah. Yeah.
My man. Yeah, I remember. I remember all my comments. I remember all my comments. I remember every comment that I've ever gotten.
Yep.
But
knowing I'm gonna have to deal with these courts whatsoever is how to proceed. Basically, how to proceed when they're issuing out documents. Right now, they send me statements of non-compliance, but they send it to my address, but my address is
move tomorrow.
PO box.
Move tomorrow.
Say again?
Move tomorrow.
Move tomorrow. PO box.
Huh?
I have a PO box.
Where's the PO box?
It's in a separate county.
Like I said, we have the Daddy's House services. It's $135 for 6 months. Let's just say you got the Daddy's House services. You sign up for that, and we will notify them tomorrow that you moved. And guess what? Every document that you got pertaining from that court, you can just toss it in the trash. Move tomorrow.
Got it.
Notify them tomorrow that you moved out of state. And you want it to be with somebody that's going to monitor your mail. You get something and it'd be like, blah, 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 this and all that. And you move tomorrow. So allow me to give you to what I'm talking about. Whenever, you ever heard of the term when somebody say, damn, man, I had to take a step back?
Mm-hmm.
You ever did that before?
All the time.
Okay. I literally had to do something one time where I literally had to take a step back. And it's almost a life-changing experience. People say it, not talking about you, but people say it and they say, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But when you really are in a situation where you literally have to take a step back, it's life-changing. But people throw it away like, throw it around like such and such. So, your situation, what you got going on now is that you got too much shit going here, doing that. Hit the reset button and notify them and say, I don't live in the state no more. So the state capital of, what is it, Raleigh? No, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte or Raleigh?
Raleigh.
Okay. State capital Raleigh, sorry. The second they get the letter, their jurisdiction on you stops. It stops. And now you can hit the reset button. You can wipe a clean slate and you can go at it differently. But that's what you need to do. Ain't no sense to keep fighting in North Carolina. It don't make no sense to. Why? Because you got too much going on, number one. Number two, I ain't having right now, I live in Virginia. I don't have a Virginia driver's license. I don't have mail coming to my house, but the water bill, the electric bill, and the mortgage statement. That's it. You got to start getting off grid, but being in plain sight. You got to start putting things in perspective where like I said, they shouldn't be able to put your name in the computer and hit enter, and any of that information is applicable. So that's your first thing you need to do. When it gets to the point where you got to purge yourself, this and all that, the second they get a letter saying, I don't live here no more, guess what? They're going to close your case and write on the thing, move to proper jurisdiction. Ask me how I know. That's what you need to do. You don't need this coming to your doorstep. You don't need no sheriff. I'm sure you get paranoid when you see a cop.
Yeah. And where I live, I'm next to like a state park, so the sheriff was up and down the road all day.
And only thing that's going to happen is one day they're gonna run your tags and just play a game with you, and something gonna happen and you ain't gonna know, bruh. It's not worth it. So I'm gonna tell you what happened with me. I had my case in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, they dragging you in court every week. It's a Commonwealth state. They dragging you in court every week. And my child's mom moved to New Jersey. I fought it, got her. She did it prematurely. I got her filed in contempt. And then I realized that when she moved to New Jersey, it helped me because I know people. I'm from Jersey. So I'm like, I know people that pay $50 a month in child support and they don't ever have child support hearings, contempt hearings in New Jersey. So I was like, cool. All of a sudden, I'm still getting letters from Pennsylvania. So what do? I say I moved. And I did. I moved to Florida. I went up there. I got custody of my kid. I went up there and they said, they locked me up for non-payment. And I said, I don't live here. They said, you still own a house here. You just renewed your driver's license. I said, so I want to be clear. You said because I have a house in Pennsylvania and I just renewed my Pennsylvania driver's license, I live here. Is that what you're saying? Now, I went to school for law, so I know that if you don't claim jurisdiction, they can't do nothing. The only thing that's going to keep coming up on record, coming out of my mouth is, I don't live here. And I knew that. All I had to do was say, I live here, but I don't stay here. Get them. So I just kept saying, no, I don't live here. The prosecutor had the fact that I just renewed my Pennsylvania license and my house. I said, well, President Clinton lives in Washington, D.C., but his driver's license is still in the state of Arkansas. I pleaded Fifth Amendment to any further questioning and walked out of that courtroom. Didn't pay a dime. So that's what that gets down to. Whenever you give them jurisdiction, you get out of their jurisdiction. This is not a situation where the quote unquote long arm of the law can get you. It's the saying they don't have no jurisdiction. And then you put in the address. And then, are you sitting down? Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
You can then switch jurisdiction when it goes there. And then you can switch again. If you decide you want to move every year, you can do that. That's why we extended our Daddy's House services to add another state. So right now, we got Daddy's House for New Jersey, Virginia, and North Carolina. Our offices. So you got to move. And then guess what's going to happen when you move? You're going to take a breather. Huh?
Like you said, it's going to change jurisdictions.
Right. And you're going to get a breather. That's the main thing. Why it's changing jurisdictions, you're going to get a breather. Because whenever I hear somebody say they came to my house and my wife and we had to, brother, that your new wife don't deserve this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
She don't deserve it.
She's been dealing with me ever since 2012, so...
Yeah, but she don't deserve it, dealing with it or not. That's your new family, and you want to keep that nonsense with them. You want somebody to call you up. Let's just say you use our Daddy's House services. You want to call you up and say, hey, man, a letter came today, blah, 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 blah. You rather have that, an agent dealing with it, than your wife, honey, a letter came today. What they say? I don't know. I didn't open it. You don't want to talk about that with your wife. You just don't. That's something you don't want. You don't. I promise you that. And then you don't do what you did before. You don't do all that, none of that stuff. You don't do none of that. You handle it the right way. Yeah, that's how you do that.
Now, I'm originally from Virginia. I'm from Richmond, so my family's still there.
Boom.
And I mean,
Boom.
I have mail to go. I have some mail that can go to my sister's house, but I just don't put it through all that. So basically, could I just change my address to her house?
To your sister's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Draft up a letter, send it certified. Do not send it in the return address. The address that you got to put normally.
Should be her address.
Yeah. But here's the deal. You got to draft a letter up, mail it to your sister, and then have your sister mail it.
Okay. So because when they postmark it, it'll still say North Carolina.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what about when it comes to like when it gets down to it for them trying to issue some or serve summons and stuff like that? They're going to be coming to her house for that, correct?
Correct.
The only thing she can tell them is he don't live here.
Yeah, he's not here.
Okay.
He's not here. He ain't home.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's your best bet.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So then I might as well just go up there 1 week and just go change my driver's license over to her house.
Well, here's the deal. If you're going to change your driver's license, you live in North Carolina?
Yeah.
And you close to Virginia state line?
Yeah.
Change your driver's license to Kentucky or South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, don't change it to the one you changed the child support to. Let me tell you something. I have my license in Maryland. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. Because I have my license in Maryland, I register cars, this and all that. I go through the tolls down here in Virginia, and they don't register the tolls because the car is not from here. But the beautiful thing about it is, I remember back in 2014, I had collections come to me for something. And they said, we're going to put a lien on your Virginia driver's license. I said, I don't have a Virginia driver's license. Like, what are you talking about? I don't have no Virginia license. What the fuck huh? I don't have no Virginia license. What do you think, I'm stupid? Yeah, but they just don't know that that's how I think. Nonetheless, the beautiful thing about what I do, how I live, is knowing that I will never get a letter in the mail stating that my license is suspended. Because I don't even reside in the state where I'm functioning in and running in. So nobody has access to it. If I get a speeding ticket, it's not, oh, we're going to suspend your Virginia driving privileges because you got a speeding ticket. I don't have Virginia driver's license, man. We're going to put points on your license. No, you're not. I don't have license, man. What the fuck? What are you talking about? And that's the beauty of it. Going to go register a car and just saying, when I used to have my license in the state that I was in, and I handed my license and they looking in the computer and hitting the thing, and how good it feels to watch them hit all the buttons and then hit enter. Okay, Mr. Smith, that'll be $112 instead of, you got something in here on, oh my God, knowing that I'll never hear that because I don't have the license in the state that I live in and never will. Never. you gotta reset yourself.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
And then when you reset yourself, make sure your sister forward you the stuff. Make sure your sister forwards you everything, and you work through it like that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Or I could just use Daddy's house services because my sister she has MS, man. I don't want her
Oh
to
wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, how old is your sister?
Yeah. She is. Yeah, I'm 44. She's 54.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she had MS for the past 33 years.
Wow.